Aman, let's start. Okay. I think
Yeah,
I
I
like
think
this
or
idea.
maybe let's wait for 2, 3 minutes.
Okay, sure.
Like just so that people could join in and then we can kick it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
It's 8:41 now. Let's wait till
हाँ जी.
8:43, 44. है ना?
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hi guys, we'll start in roughly 5 minutes when there's a substantial amount of audience.
Um, Guys, let's get started, I guess. There are some questions that are coming through. Let's get started. Let's answer a few of those. Akshat, are you there?
Here's something. Akshat, I think, is there.
Okay, right. Fine. Hi, guys. Good evening. Welcome to this session with us. We are three XLers. We are here to solve your doubts. So let's get started, right? There's one question. What is the weightage of Z score in final conversion? Okay, hi Harshul, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I just want to say that nobody knows what's the weightage. Like XLRI never reveals it. We are of an opinion because of the past trend and stuff that we have generally watched that personal interview has a greater weightage because we have seen students with 99.6, 99.7 get turned down and people with 89, 90 get conversion because their interview was good versus somebody's interview was bad. So we are of an opinion that generally the interview is going to be the much more important factor.
And also, I don't know. I mean, doesn't matter what the weightage is, what the weightage is not. In the end, you should just know that if you got a call, uh, you have to give your best in the interview, right? So that is
We
one of the most important things, and that is something that you need to be taking care of. I mean, let's say the weightage of that in final is 50 or 70 or 80 or whatever, right? Until and unless there is a weightage of PI, and of course for XLRI it's significant, right? So you need to prepare nicely for it, right? Maybe if I had to estimate the weightage of that in final score, might be some 30-40% or something, right? But I don't think that should change your decision and influence it anyhow. No, I mean, you can just go through them. I don't know. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. Current affairs is what you have to go through, not exactly those questions. So GK will be normal GK that's asked everywhere. If they want to ask you a question, that will be how it will not come from the SAT GK particularly. Hi April. So how to prepare for the interviews? Okay, join us. That's the best way to prepare for the interviews, I'll be honest. We are here, we are three mentors, and we are basically taking mock PI day and night for people who are struggle, for people who have taken our course, and we are working very hard. We'll try our level best to ensure that you get all the knowledge required to convert XLRI and do accounts and work matter. Everything matters a little, like how she would say, it's like a complete whole picture. One and not a single thing stands out, but every if you are good at everything, decent around it, everything, then I guess PI is what will make your or break your cake. When will they release their calls? We were expecting it to be happening today. May happen tomorrow. So just keep waiting. It will come in your dashboard or your email. Have around 2 years of work experience and poor graduation score. Should I prepare? Yes, you should prepare, Priyank. Because UG subjects are something every professor expects you to be thorough with. So you should be a little prepared and your work experience too. The questions can come from either of the directions.
also, यार
Uh,
फर्क नहीं पड़ता even if you have poor graduation score or good graduation score. Uh, they are more concerned with the fact that do you know the basics of the subjects that you've studied 3 or 4 years, right? If you've spent such time with all those subjects, they expect you to have a minimum level of knowledge in that subject, and that is what they check. I mean, if you have a poor graduation score, they might leave you with the benefit of doubt that okay, you could not get it due to some reason. But let's say if you have a good graduation score, they might have a better expectation, but irrespective, you have to prepare nicely for your graduation.
um,
Yes, guys,
XLI
and
JND
Jamshedpur
has.
and Delhi both have the same interviews. Like, Delhi only has BM program, not the HR program. So the interview of BM is common for Jamshedpur and Delhi, and the selection criteria is also different. So they release their independent mails of whether you are selected or rejected.
Yeah, but the interviews till last year were the same for the BM program. But let's see what happens this year. So this year another new thing that happened, which wasn't there in my year, was that for BM program also non-engineer males and females have been differentiated. Didn't happen for my year, so this is something new. So we are actually looking. Maybe they want to bring some more changes. We are not sure of that.
Also, I want to answer one question once and for all as to what the weightage of academics is, what the weightage of that is, what the weightage of PI is. Guys, what are you gonna do knowing that? Does it gonna, I mean, will it change anything in your preparation? I mean, will it do any difference to your preparation, your strategy, your mock taking or anything? It won't, right? Until and unless your component has some weightage of PI, you should be preparing for it. All right. Doesn't matter. If you have poor acads, think as if you would need to make it up with a PI. If you have good acads, think about, you already have good chances. You just have to give above average PI. That's it. Right? So it doesn't matter what your academics are, what they are not, what your work experience is, what they're not, or what their weightage is at least. Like make sure
Yeah.
that your PI preparation, your GDPI, whatever process preparation is there, that is pretty much sorted. Right? Even colleges that give you that final composite score criteria, do you prepare for your pre PIs based on them? Right? FMS has very less weightage for its PI. But I don't think or I don't remember people preparing less for its interviews. Right? So doesn't matter. You should not care as if how much component carries what amount of weightage. And this is once and for all, right? Don't ask that how much weightage does work experience carry, how much weightage does. It is for all of them. Doesn't matter. Even if it's 1% or 10%, your preparation should just be the same as it is.
And guys, I would suggest consider it 100% if you have got the call. Consider the weightage of PI as 100% if you have got the call. Okay, and Anjali, the course for CAT is starting this week. iQuanta's course. You can go on their website, iQuanta.in. There you will get, a prompt where you can enter your details and you will get a call back, or you can also directly call on the number which is mentioned on the website. The course is
Sushant,
starting
so
this week.
yeah, how to connect with you for XLRI interview prep? So hi Sushant, we are part of the iQuanta GDPI prep program, and we three are one of the few mentors that are part, and we three are excellers. So you can actually join the program. The details are mentioned in the website, GDPA website. Okay, so we are very hardworking. We are trying each every day to ensure that each of the people who come to us actually go back and actually have their prep done. Right. So yes, just join us if you want to start your interview prep, and that's how you can connect with us also.
Also, someone is asking how to justify low graduation scores. So understand that low graduation scores, first of all, start with acceptance that yes, I was one of the reasons of the low graduation scores, right? The mistake that people always do is they run away from that, I was involved into extracurriculars, I was doing this, I was doing that. See, understand they have hundreds of people who have superb extracurriculars, superb profile, and they have great academics also. So you cannot get away by saying that I was involved into other things. So understand you have to highlight an area of improvement here, right? So what you can do is you can either tell them that, you could not prioritize your studies well, right? You could not adapt to the situation. That's why things went wrong. So highlight some area of improvement which happened there, first of all. Then essentially show them what you've learned from that particular thing. Let's say your CGPA was low. So you learned maybe how to prioritize better, how to manage things well, and then show them that how things are improving now for you, how you have a better perspective of future, how you will take study seriously because now you have a proper reason to do an MBA and now you have a proper focus, right? So understand and show this trajectory from acceptance to, understanding what your areas of improvement are, working upon them, and then future aspect of things. I mean, use that framework. Do not dodge this question. People just dodge this question by saying that I was involved into this, I was involved in this. People are involved with everything and they're still doing good. So that excuse
Yeah.
doesn't come up. People, for work experience also, people tell that I did not work because I wanted to prepare for CAT. See, understand it's not that. I mean, there are people who work 10 hours, 12 hours a day and still get a 99.9, right? So you cannot come away with that excuse. You need to have other reasons as well to supplement your answer properly. Yeah, yes, Anshul.
This also brings me to one more thing. Guys, I know each one of us has some or the other thing which is our baggage, as they call, right? किसी के accounts, somebody has their accounts bad, somebody have their work gap year, somebody has a work experience issue, somebody's percentile is low. So, guys, what I would want you to first of all understand is not take pity on your own self. Okay, never go about us thinking that how is this bad thing and going to explain about it. Okay, you have to make a story arc around it. Okay, like and feel be the third person in your story and feel a little sympathy for your own self and then explain it to the panel. Okay, your panel will respect you as much as you respect your own answer, right? So tomorrow if you say that, sir, sorry, I failed in my UPSC prep, that's why I'm in MBA, then the panel will see you as such. And on the other hand, if they see that you are somebody who gave an attempt, but because of the circumstances of how less and trivial the chances of getting into UPSC are, you decided to move on, and then you came for MBA, then automatically the panel also sees you the same way. So, in my opinion, when you are trying to answer any of your baggages, right, which you hold, always try to keep yourself more sympathetic, and do not be harsh on yourself.
So Harshal, the expected date range of interviews will, I think they'll start from mid-February and go till March end. So roughly 45 days of interview window will be there. Also, Trivi Bar is asking what would be the ideal priority of subjects, GK, ACADS, WorkX. See, if you're a fresher, let's say you are fresher, I'm considering less than 12 months of WorkX. Okay, so then you need to heavily focus on your academics. It doesn't mean that those who have workix they can just ignore their academics. They also have to go through their academics, especially pick up 2 3 subjects which you think your interest lied in. And if you were asked the question which was your favorite subject, so you can confidently say that okay, XYZ was my favorite subject, and you can ask me any question from that. So pick up a couple of subjects which you think you liked and go in depth. Otherwise, for all the remaining subjects, you should just know the basics, right?
Also guys, we are seeing actually a trend which has been followed by the IMs that have started conducting interview. We also expect XLRI to follow the same suit. The thing is, this time around, the interviewers and the questions, right, are they're very heavily revolving around your personality and trying to gauge what is your personality about? Will you make a better cultural fit or not? Right. So questions are very tricky. So there is no straight way answers, and there also the interviews are going generally stressed because what they're trying to bring you about is to look how you handle it. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I'm saying. This time we are expecting this to be a accelerized trend too. They will try to actually gauge your personality and stuff more, and that's why you should be prepared with situational and behavioral kind of questions as well.
Also, guys,
That's
GK is important, but do not just focus on the facts. You should have opinions, which I believe is more important. If you are told that what is your opinion on the building of the Ram Mandir, right? So you must be knowing all the facts around it, but unless you have an opinion, unless you tell them that this is what I believe in, that will have a bad impression. Facts is okay, but have an opinion on what is happening around the world. That is more important, in my opinion.
um Yeah, about that also, like I would personally suggest what I did, and I would suggest any of those who are asking me that you should always have a neutral perspective. See, you should be ready to define both the good and the bad about anything that is asked to you, right? Many people, when they actually get a question, they immediately jump to the negatives, and they find it very easy. Similarly, sometimes when something which is touches their heart too much, they automatically jump to the positives. But on the other hand, an interviewer expects you to be having the rationale behind the situations, because you will encounter life situations in life where you will be on the both side of the spectrum. So you cannot just make a choose, right? Because with power comes responsibility. So yeah, in that case, again, they will want you to be a little yeah, so that is how you have to answer. That is one. Does 2 year effect? Wait, what is it? I can't read. Sorry.
I think he's asking, does 2 year affect conversion into Blackie if I'm able to get a 99% see it? And I mean, understand,
Two
Bharat,
years of what?
if
I
you're an
didn't get that.
engineer, but then 2 years of work experience or 2 years of gap, I think
Gap,
gap
I guess.
होगा
Gap,
because
I
he's
guess.
asking affect.
Yeah, yeah.
So understand, देखो भरत, if you're an engineer or if you're a gem basically, तो 99 पे Blackie कॉल भी नहीं आएगा, पहली चीज तो be very very careful and aware about that, ठीक है? अगर लेट्स से ब्लैकी कॉल आ जाता है तो यार गाइस ये सारे इंटरव्यू के लिए समझ लो एक ही बार में, ठीक है? Every person that has got a call, sleek or bleak, they have a chance to convert. ठीक है? अफेक्ट करेगा, नहीं अफेक्ट करेगा, मैं बोल दूंगा अफेक्ट करेगा तो इंटरव्यू प्रेप छोड़ दोगे क्या, ब्लैकी कॉल जाने दोगे? Right? Understand, you will not let go of the blackie calls, and don't try to reaffirm and reconfirm your bias or interest. Right? Let it be how it is. ओके, एंड देन मूव फॉरवर्ड विद इट, उस पे ज्यादा पॉन्डर करने से अच्छा ज्यादा टाइम प्रेप को दे दो, राइट? और सिंस यूर आस्किंग इफ आई एम एबल टू गेट 99%, तो या तो यू हैव योर कॉल दिस ईयर, ठीक है? इफ यू हैव योर कॉल दिस ईयर, तो प्रिपेयर, डोंट थिंक अबाउट ऑल दिस. एंड इफ यू हैव योर कॉल if you're preparing for next year and you're like, अगर मैं 99 आ जाएगा तो my gap will it be affected? Doesn't matter. See, first of all, don't stop at 99. Try to maximize as much percentile as you get, because the more your percentile, the better call chances you have, right? Secondly, if you get calls, नहीं फर्क पड़ता. I've seen people with बहुत कम percentiles even convert APC as well, right? So it depends on what kind of profile you have. It depends what kind of personality you have, how you present yourself in the interview, how much do you know and what do you know. Right?
Okay.
How much clarity you have with things, right? I've seen people with even 5, 6 years of gaps getting into Blackie XLRI FMS, right? We have
Yeah.
a person who has like 4 years of gap, 3 years of work experience is currently 31. People also have a doubt. I'm very old for an MBA. Will it affect my chances? Nothing affects your chances at all. It's you who's affecting your chances at the end of the day. So don't think about all of this, right? It's very, very important to understand. And also, picking Priyank's question here because I have some experience with startup. Yeah, देखो, it's not about startup or a big company. It's about what your learning from them was. Akshat has worked for iQuanta. He has seen it growing, right? So they will ask, what has your journey been with iQuanta? What was your role in its growth, right? And how did the numbers move in, right? What all did you learn from it? And then since you've mentioned that you've started up something of your own, they will ask you, how did you utilize that learning that you learned from that startup and the failures that you have seen and built your startup around it, right? To have very like cream and core understanding around क्या किया था, क्या चीज स्टार्टअप में होती थी, what all things are should be learned and what all things should not be learned. ठीक है, तो उन चीजों पे थोड़ा सा ध्यान दो. फर्क नहीं पड़ता स्टार्टअप्स को क्यों वो खराब लेंगे. आई मीन स्टार्टअप्स कम टू हायर फ्रॉम दीज कॉलेजेस, सो ऐसा तो नहीं है कि दे हैव समथिंग अगेंस्ट स्टार्टअप्स, राइट? They of course have problems with startups, like I won't name some startups, but then they of course have problems with unsustainable businesses. But if let's say a business like Zomato, which has been there for 12 years, it is running now profitable also. So it depends on what kind of startup it is and what all learnings have you got from it. Let's say even if you are an unsustainable startup, what all failures did you see in that business? Right? Dunzo is on the verge of closing up now. Right? So if you were, let's say, a part of Dunzo, what all things did you witness in the model of Dunzo, which was not there in the others model, and that's why led to the failure of. So understand all these things very, very important because they ask a lot of questions. The only thing I've seen, I've mentored a lot of people, and a lot of them say that, I want to start up. And they say that in the interview. But saying this word is not very easy because then they'll ask you a lot of questions. Startup करना इतना easy नहीं होता है. बहुत ज्यादा नॉलेज तो बहुत ही बात की चीज होती है. कन्विक्शन चाहिए, कमिटमेंट चाहिए, फोकस चाहिए कि क्या बनाना है, किस चीज के अराउंड बनाना है, राइट? वो पूछ लेंगे तो क्या जवाब दोगे, राइट? ऐसे तो एवरीवन वांट्स टू स्टार्ट अप, राइट? Who doesn't want a business venture of their own eventually in the future? बट उसको आप कितना अच्छे से होल्ड कर पाते हो इन द इंटरव्यू, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो फॉर गाइस हु आर देयर इन दिस मीटिंग एंड थिंकिंग कि हम बोलेंगे कि हमें स्टार्टअप करना है, थिंक अबाउट इट अगेन, राइट? क्या आंसर कर पाओगे
Yeah.
क्रॉस क्वेश्चंस को, दैट इज
Uh,
इंपॉर्टेंट. यस साथिल.
Yeah, I'll go back to Bharat's question. Okay. Again, Bharat has raised a point which actually signifies his baggage. Basically, he is talking about. So I would actually say anybody listening to me and to Bharat himself, I would just say to you that again, your story, right? Your story, I don't know. Panelists don't know. Aman doesn't know. Akshat doesn't know. No one knows except for you and your family. So now, how you'll explain to us only, we will get to know how your story. If you took a 2 year break so because you wanted to see how what, and understand about life, you wanted to make a good choice, you didn't want to make a wrong choice, so you needed time, and that's why you took a break. Okay, then 2 years are justified. As people take break for long time, they take a break for UPSC, which is very popular. People take breaks because family issues. These are things understandable. Right, so this is how if you explain, then anybody will understand it. Then it doesn't matter whatever your baggage is. Okay, if you can explain it, the other party will be ready to understand.
Also, Satvik, this reminds me of recently I connected with a student who is in our GDBI course. He also had gap years of 2 years. So he was very confused. How do I explain it? But then I scrutinized his history, I scrutinized everything that he did in those 2 years, and then I was able to figure out a story for him. He used to
Mhm,
take tuitions for students, and
mhm.
using that, I built a very good story for him. And recently, he had his I am Lucknow interview, and he used that story, and he was very happy with how the interview went.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what we are trying to actually say. If you can make an arc of story, see, basically these kind of questions are HR questions, and HR questions you can actually create a story arc. Now you have to join us to learn how to do that. That's another case. But yes, so this is something we are continuously teaching. And again, I want to just say, if you can create a story arc, then no panelists will judge you for that story. They'll be ready to accept it. What's the course price
Also, the
and
people
budget?
with startup experience,
Yeah.
it's a very good added advantage if you have a startup experience as well, right? But it is generally suggested that when you step into an interview, your focus should be to learn, expand your knowledge, and after expanding the knowledge, you need to implement it in the corporate world. It is ideally not very suggested that you should go and say that, okay, I want to open a startup after completing an MBA, because that needs a lot of planning. That needs a very strong head that, okay, this is my future plan. If you do not have a plan as such, then stepping into an interview with a argument that I will open a startup after right after completing my MBA is wrong. You can say that I want to take some experience, gain some experience in the corporate world, and later on, if I get an opportunity at the right time, then I would like to work on my startup.
Yeah, though nobody has asked this question. One more question that keeps cropping up all the time, whether is should I take a college this year, or should I prepare next year? So I would just want to answer that. Okay, if you believe this year is the best you could have done, and you actually you cannot do any better further better, then definitely I would suggest you to take the college this year. On the other hand, if you believe, and there's even an iota of chance you believe that you'll have a regret of not going for another attempt, then you should definitely go for another attempt, because better in life to do something than to regret it later.
Also,
Ankit,
Sushant is asking,
Triple XL is the three of us. Triple XL.
Mm,
Since we are from XL, that is
asking the
just a
important
yeah,
questions. Very important questions.
just a catchy
yeah,
name for this event. Nothing much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sushant will not be answering that actually, because we cannot discriminate.
यार
So
मतलब the thing is देखो सुशांत ऐसा सीन है कि I think you need to understand that first of all not every college is on a linear space पहली चीज तो ऐसा होता है right let's say if we compare A college and B college ना तो answer differs a lot on candidates है ना what are your preferences what do you want out of your career which domain are you most interested towards दिक्कत ये है the aspirant market is that people are very they have some rankings of their own and then मैंने यार एफएमएस छोड़ के मैं एक्सेल आया हूँ ठीक है एंड आई थिंक सबसे पहला सवाल ही लोगों का ये होता है कि यार आपने ऐसा क्यों किया हाउ कैन यू डू दिस टू योर करियर राइट तो अब आप समझो इस चीज को कि क्या होता है करियर समथिंग दैट यू एस्पायर फॉर योरसेल्फ आपको कुछ चीजें चाहिए यू हैव सम रिक्वायरमेंट्स इन योर लाइफ टू फॉर यू टू डू इन फ्यूचर प्रोफेशनल लाइफ राइट so every college and any college that can give you is a good college. Any college which is not able to give you is not a good college. If we talk about things like operations, I would say SJM SOM IIT Bombay is definitely the better one right now. Right? Because of course it has the engineering expertise. Right? Of course it has the technical expertise and the network. राइट ऑपरेशंस का नेटवर्क और लोकेशन वाइज भी मुंबई में वो निटी के बगल में ही है तो हायरिंग करने काफी अच्छा होता है राइट टेक बेस्ड रोल में जाना है स्पेसिफिकली तो अच्छा होगा right? That is something which is there. But let's say you want to go into marketing. Let's say you want to go into consulting. So Excel Delhi is of course better. So it depends what you're looking for. Excel Delhi gives you that Excel tag as well. Right? XLRI tag is a really, really important one and a good one. Right? So it depends what you want out of your career, and that's how you make the choices for yourself.
I just want to say, as one of somebody who has also done BCom, yes, you have chance for conversion. भाई मैं एकदम flat clear बोल दे रहा हूँ. If you got a call, you have a chance to convert. मतलब do not then go hard around asking to can I convert, can I not? No, भाई. If you have a call, you have a chance. And again, once your interview is done, also, I mean, we wouldn't decide, so then you have to wait. So I keep seeing reading it a lot because people keep asking this: Can I convert? Will I convert? My interview went like this. Will I get a shortlist? So yeah, बस वही कह रहा हूँ कि अभी के लिए तो कॉल आई है, इसका मतलब पक्का चांस है. फ्यूचर में जब इंटरव्यू हो जाएगा एंड देन यू विल बी waiting for the result, then also you stand a chance. That will be the only flat answer I give for you. Yeah, so I guess you have
Harshal,
no more.
GD topic, if the GD happens and a GD topic comes which you know about, then definitely you can go ahead and speak on it. But अगर कोई टेक्निकल टॉपिक आता है, वैसे तो ऐसा कोई हाईली टेक्निकल नहीं आता कि तुम्हें एकदम ही कोई कंप्यूटर CS डोमेन वाले को ज्यादा अच्छा आता हो, ऐसा नहीं है, जेनरिक टॉपिक से आते हैं. बट अगर आता है तो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज वेट फॉर अदर्स इनपुट टू कम इन, एंड व्हेन यू थिंक ओके नाउ यू हैव गेन सफिशिएंट नॉलेज और तुम्हें आइडिया लग गया कि ठीक है इस बारे में बात करनी है, then you step in.
Hi, Harsh. तुम्हारा your question came before also. Harsh, actually, I'll be honest with you. I don't know why how suddenly you decided to go into strategic management. I suggest everyone to not actually have any preference in order there. Okay, you come here, you learn all the subjects, right? You learn finance, you learn marketing, you learn operations, you learn HR, and then automatically you only decide on your own what you enjoy and why you want to. Even if they ask you what is the domain area you have expertise in, I have personally suggested a lot of people actually to answer it more diplomatically and talk about the fact that they are not aware of what is taught because even honestly, if you guys start speaking with your own knowledge, sometimes it can become funny to the professor because they teach it right and they know that you not know it very well. On the other hand, if your doubt is that can you get into XLRI again, if you got a call, you definitely have a chance. If you clear the sectionals, you'll get a call, then you'll definitely have a chance to convert. I'll just say that much.
Also, Rachit is asking, join late, what is the course price and where to purchase? Rachit, you can go to iQuanta's website. I think in the chat also you'll get a link in a minute or two where you can just click on it and go and purchase the course. Or you can go on the website and you'll see it, just scroll down. There you'll see GDPI course, you can enroll in it.
Guys, you can ask us any question. Okay, we are ready to answer anything. Okay, and yeah, we'll be as unhinged as possible. We are one thing we have to just say we are answering it from our experience, right? Sometimes data can still leave us blank. So the DM cutoff this time it got increased like way too much, and people weren't expecting. It wasn't something we were expecting either. So we can only provide you some perspective. We cannot actually give you the truth because that lies with the management who's conducting the exam, who's responsible for your admission.
Also, guys,
So
before I forget, there is no specific course called ZAT XLRI GDPI program. There's a generic iQuanta GDPI program, and whichever calls you have, iQuanta will connect you to students or alumnus from those colleges. If you are someone who is preparing only for XLRI interviews, then all your interviews you can schedule with the XLRI alums and students.
yeah, and Sanchit, so how much knowledge we have? There are 600 seats now, and the ratio is either 1:8 or 1:10. So around 5,000 to 6,000 interview calls will be given. Now this is both programs. So your BM and HR both. So your conversion chance right now will be 10% flat. Uh,
No,
yeah,
I mean, the
around.
one more thing that we need to take care, Satvik, here is that then some people also have both of the calls, right? And then
Ah,
other
right,
thing
right,
also
right.
is the
Yeah,
waitlist movement, you know.
yeah, yeah,
So let's say there are 600 seats, so you
yeah,
expect like around 150 ish movement in BM. This year HRM saw a very less waitlist movement,
yeah,
but
yeah,
around 150 to 200 there as well. In Delhi, BM actually moves quite a lot, right? So around you can take your conversion chances to be something around 1:3 to 1:4, right? But understand ki yaar, the people you're competing with, they're also equally good as you, right?
mm,
So 1:3, 1:4 might give you the comfort that, it's okay. We'll make it 1:3, 1:4 is not a big number. But understand all those three, four people are as good as you, or maybe better, or maybe worse, but almost at the same level as you, right? So
right,
make sure you put a lot of effort in your preparation. That is very, very important. Right. And that
right.
is like, Rachit, you told me that, but won't it be like you don't have clarity what to do further? But understand, how did you gain clarity without knowing about that thing? Right. मुझे कैसे पता है कि मुझे कार खरीदनी है when I don't know anything about the car? How does it look like? What to do with the car? Right. क्योंकि just मेरे को मेरे neighbor ने बोल दिया था that car is a really great thing and it really goes really fast and everything. Will I go and buy the car? And will I convince my father that I want to buy the car, please get me. He'll ask me, what is that car? What is a car, first of all? What do you know about a car? Why do you want to buy a car? right? What kind of car do you want to buy? So if they ask you those questions about strategic management, will you be able to answer those questions? First of all, is the point. Second of all, if you are able to tackle all these questions, you might have had some background in the particular subject. So if you have some background in that particular subject, then you should not have any problem, mentioning it as well. But if you don't have a background, the thing is, एक तो प्रॉब्लम ये होता है that it has become a very popular thing, right? Strategy में जाना है, consulting में जाना है. You understand everyone says this, है ना? How do you back it up? क्यों कंसल्टिंग में जाना है? Why do you want to do it? And then people give these generic answer that we love problem solving. So what? Does a marketeer not solve problems? Right? Or a finance guy does not solve the problems of the business. Everyone does solve problems, right? So you cannot just go on and say generic stuff. Do proper research, right? Read books if you want uh,
Mhm.
to consultants if you want to gain that clarity and then probably go and tell them यार हमारे यहाँ कमिटी सिलेक्शन भी होता है ना उसमें भी सीनियर्स आस्क अस कि ये where did you get this data from, right? Where did you, वो तो बहुत ही कैजुअल चीज हो गई in compared to let's say an XLRI as compared to an XLRI interview, right? So that's how sure you want to be able to speak it up in the interview, right? Strategy consulting entrepreneurship बोल देते हैं बहुत ही easily, but the point is, again, that's how we people come into the picture, right? You come to us and tell कि मेरे को strategy management के बारे में बोलना है. How do I frame my answers? How do I build my profile around that, right? What should I bring it up in myself? So that's how we help you. But understand कि blind shot मत चले जाना कि बोल देते हैं sexy लग रहा है, right? Because then these words also builds expectations and they will definitely ask you a lot of questions around these. And you would not want to have awkward questions which you don't have answer to. So take
Obviously.
very care of that, Rajat. ठीक है? Rather than clarity ना होना, वो better है. Rather than having उस चीज के बारे में clarity होना जिसके बारे में तुम्हारा कोई exposure ही नहीं है जिंदगी में, है ना?
Yeah.
तो clarity है तुम्हें, clarity इस चीज की है कि मुझे नहीं पता मुझे क्या करना है. That's what I'm coming there for, right? मेरे को सीखना
Yeah,
है.
yeah, guys. Also now about some people are asking about interview specific questions. So उसके लिए हम खुद ही कोर्स कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं तो आप ज्वाइन कर लो. So yeah, we'll be there to help you guys. So okay, we are already trying our level best. So nervousness, how
Also
to
यार
answer, where do
मतलब
you see?
ये टाइप के इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस यार यू गाइस नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड थाउजेंड्स हो सकते हैं क्या. एक तो देयर आर टेंस ऑफ प्रोफाइल्स. हर प्रोफाइल पे पीपल हैव लाइक 20-50 क्वेश्चंस ऑफ देयर ओन व्हिच आर रिस्पेक्टिव टू देयर पीआईज. in like a small session like this, I mean, no matter हम इसे 4 घंटे भी cover कर लेंगे ना, we won't be able to cover even 5% of the questions that
Yeah,
you guys might have because इसे बहुत personalized होता है. We cannot give generic answer. मुझे पता ही नहीं है तुम्हारा strategic management का क्या background है. How will I answer it? You just told me that you have a bachelor's in psychology, but that's how we sit on a one-on-one session. We talk about it. We know about your profile, then we build an answer for you. Right? तो थोड़ा सा वो चीज सोचो. If you have other doubts apart from, let's say, the questions that might be asked in a PI, we would absolutely be very happy to help you with that.
yeah. Okay, how many seats is
Also, I
total in
think
BM?
Harshul's question, can you please share your PI experiences? Reminds me of we can take a session on our PI experiences specifically.
Okay,
Maybe just for the JDPI enrolled students. So guys, this is something exclusive which I want you to listen through us in our dedicated session.
right. Which also he has one more question. How many total seats in BM Jamshedpur? 240. As of what they have decided. Until now, we know it is 240. So 240 seats are there in BM Jamshedpur. Delhi has 180 seats more. So total of BM is 420.
Also, यार ST, is it fun if it's not tough? Right? तुम्हें बच्चों के साथ रेस दौड़ के जीतने में मजा आएगा या फिर you need to run with real people and then come third maybe, right? Understand that competitiveness brings out the best in you. ना survive सब कर जाता हूँ. ठीक है, what happens is you.
Aman, let them know how we survived today.
Yeah, I mean, every single day we went on a bike trip today, and then one of the bike's engine broke down. One of the bike's petrol went off in the middle of a highway, right? One guy tried to ram us into the divider and everything. So even if we're not in XLRI, we're currently having our own challenges and stuff, right? So the thing is,
Guys,
ऐसा समझो,
हाँ,
it's not fun, right? अगर वो ऐसा नहीं होता तो हमें याद नहीं रहता वो उतना. हम आ जाते, we would have been very okay that we had a trip and everything. But all of this competitiveness, first of all, brings out the best in you. majority of you people, I mean, let's say for non-engineers, this thing is very common that you haven't faced a very extreme competitive environment before a B school. Let's say for engineers, a lot of engineering colleges are very competitive in nature themselves as well. But non-engineers typically, by the nature of their course, do not have a lot of competitiveness in the course, right? So you guys also learn how to, get the best out of yourself, how to, even Satvik would tell you, right? So it's been more than 1.5 years, I mean, approximately 18, 21 months he would be covering, and his tenure is just going to be over next month. He'll tell you how he survived these 18, 20 months. He had his intern into Reliance, right? So that is the thing, right? He is having his intern with engineers, with non-engineers. So that is how he got that intern, hustling up. And that hustling up not just helps you in your B school, it just helps you after you get out of the B school, in your corporate life, in your personal life, in your professional life, everything. ठीक है? तो
Right.
मैं तो हमेशा यही बोलता हूँ, अगर टफ नहीं है तो मजा नहीं है. ठीक है,
ऑल्सो
वही
गाइस
मैं
स्टफ के अलावा देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ फन एज वेल। जैसे अमन बता रहा था, हम आज मतलब बाइक ट्रिप पे गए थे, हम 10-12 बंदे थे। सो वी लाइक लिटरली वेंट टू रांची। जमशेदपुर से वी वेंट टू रांची ऑन बाइक्स एंड वी रेंटेड अ कार। सो इट वाज अ लॉट ऑफ फन। आई मीन देयर इज अ थोड़ा कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस रहता है यार, मतलब बी स्कूल में हो रहता है थोड़ा बहुत, पर इतना नहीं है कि यू लूज आउट ऑन द फन, यू लूज आउट ऑन द बिगर पिक्चर ऑफ द लाइफ।
ऑल्सो वो कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस से अक्षत आई गेस वो ब्रदरहुड भी डेवलप हो जाता है, राइट? आई मीन इट ब्रिंग्स आउट द बेस्ट इन यू, एंड course you meet people who share similar intents with you, जो आपके साथ वाइब करते हैं, and then they bond with you, and that's how, जो बोलते हो ना तुम लोग एमबीए इंटरव्यूज में, पीयर टू पीयर इंटरेक्शन, राइट? पीयर टू पीयर लर्निंग, दैट्स हाउ दिस पीयर टू पीयर लर्निंग हैपेंस. इतना कॉम्पिटिटिव होता है कि one person cannot do it on their own. They need people to help them. They need people who can share their thoughts with them, share their notes with them, share past papers with them. जरूरी होता है वो करना, because इतनी सारी चीजें चल रही होती है. If you don't get all that help, you will not be able to cope up. And that is a good thing, right? कॉलेज में अगर फ्रेंड्स नहीं है ज्यादा, फिर टफ हो ही जाता है इवेंचुअली. यार 30 लाख रुपीज पे कर रहे हो, ये सारी चीजें तो एक्सपेक्ट करो ना, कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस एक्सपेक्ट करो, तभी तो फोड़ के आओगे 2 साल के बाद. So
ऑल्सो
that is how.
एसटी गाइस, क्लासेस मतलब क्लासेस कोर्स तो ऐसा स्टार्टिंग का ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, जीडी पे कोर्स इट गोज ऑन। मतलब आप जब एनरोल करोगे सो यू विल गेट योर 7 स्लॉट्स ऑफ पीआईज विच यू कैन टेक एनी टाइम अकॉर्डिंग टू योर ओन विश, एंड अनलिमिटेड जीडीज। उसके बाद जो भी सेशंस फ्यूचर में होते हैं, जैसे हम ना वेबिनार्स भी लेते हैं 1-1 घंटे के, काफी जनरल गाइडेंस सेशंस और जीके की क्लासेस होती हैं। सो ऑल दोज विच विल हैपन इन द फ्यूचर, यू विल गेट एक्सेस टू देम। और जो हो चुके हैं पहले, once you enroll you will get the recordings of those in your dashboard which you can
Right.
view anytime.
So, yeah, actually, I will continue. So, now coming back to my experience at XLRI, so Aman talked about it a little. So Aman and Akshat are my juniors. So basically, I'm 1 year senior to them. So I actually I actually met Aman this way. So one day I was just at one of the very important eating spots in XLRI, and there I was just having my chai, and there I met Aman. Very accidental, and then he ended up asking me about every subject. फर्स्ट ईयर के सब सब्जेक्ट्स के बारे में बात कर ली उसने. तो आई हैड टू लाइक इट एंड देन एवरीबॉडी गॉट कलेक्टेड ओवर देयर. So that went on for an hour. I had to give all gyan. So yeah, that's how I met Aman. And Akshat, too, I know him from before because I was also part of the iQuanta writing articles and stuff. So yeah, so that was there. And also, I want to just say that yeah, so I'm almost done with my MBA. It was 18-20 months of hard work. I actually coined a terminology called hustle ka naam hai zindagi. So basically, yeah, so it is a lot of hustling. Basically, yeah, sometimes that showing up to the class is the hardest part because it's so tiring, but end of the day, we somehow managed to do it. Yeah, that's what it
Also,
was.
guys, some of you might be confused about क्या process होता है. We can tell you how our process was. Things will slightly differ from that. ज़्यादा difference नहीं है. Your cutoffs have already been released. If you have cleared the cutoffs, you have the call for sure. It's just that they'll release the call letters in a day or two, right? Maybe by tomorrow, latest by day after, right? That is something which will be there. After the call letters are out, you will be getting forms which have 4 questions each from both the programs, PM and HRM. Understand the importance of these forms in the first place, right? These are your first point of contact with the interviewers. These will give and form an initial impression of yourself in the interviewer's mind, right? They have questions like your favorite subject, your any time when you encountered a conflict, why do you want to pursue this from this particular college? Mention any particular instance where you led a team and everything. These are some types of questions, but then way you answer them shows a lot about you, and that forms an initial picture of yourself in the front of the interviewer even before the interview starts. And that's how I think me, Akshat, Satvik, we have spent a lot of time at XLRI, right? Talking to these professors, interacting
Yes.
with them, understanding how they think eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think जब हमने frame किए थे अपने answers, when we worked on our answers, we were quite clueless as to what Excel actually needs. Excel को क्या चाहिए? What is it? That is how we come into the picture. हम तुम्हें यही बताते हैं what Excel needs, right? And how your answers will be in that Excel shape, right? Which is
Yes.
very, very important. ऐसा समझो कि every person in this world wants to reconfirm their biases, right?
True.
Somehow, if you write something in that answer which reconfirms the bias of a professor, halfway you're already in. ठीक है, वो बस ट्राई करेगा देखने का कि कुछ तुमने गलत तो कुछ नहीं भरा है. So one part of it is will help you fill the form. Second part of it will help you justify whatever you filled in the form in the interview,
Yeah,
right?
this
तो kind
reminds me. Yeah, I just want to add. This reminds me how I changed my YMBA answer. Like 2 years ago, what I have would have told, and today with experience gained in XLRI, what I am suggesting to my mentees is something very different. So I would just say that invaluable experience you gain out of the classroom of B schools, and that is why that's what makes us different personally because we have recently just Aman and Akshat are in their first year. I'm in my second year, so we have recently just got it into MBA. So we are in touch with what professors are expecting, what kind of answers they are looking for, and yeah, so new terminologies that are coming up because they discuss with us the professors, okay, before they really want to discuss with the other world around basically you guys, they will actually want to ask us their opinion and stuff, so we actually get to know a lot. So also we know a lot what Excel looks for because वहाँ पे मतलब survive किया है तो थोड़ा थोड़ा आइडिया आ ही जाता है and वहाँ पे मतलब अपनी पढ़ाई भी की है तो we actually end up knowing what kind of things professors are asking. So for us it is like if you actually ask which professor is taking your interview, exact one will actually tell you how to answer. That's another thing you cannot actually know and we cannot actually come there and be there for you. But again, generally we can give you an clue about how XLRI per se interviews are going to be. Yeah. And also this brings me to one more point. Aman is like one of the symbiosis toppers. So if other colleges also, if you want to have like you are not one of those who is aspiring for Excel, but also want for some other college, then we are again there because we have also given interviews for those colleges.
Also, guys, I think Mira last year I had given 4 exams. That was the only exam where I scored less than 99.5. ठीक है, and I have made it to XLRI eventually. तो इस साल मैंने ईगो पे ले लिया था कि नहीं, I have to get that particular thing in the range as well, and I gave that again with you people. Don't worry, I didn't fill any calls or colleges, not neither HRM nor BM. Made sure I secured 99.93. But understand why I did that. Not just to satisfy my ego, but to understand कि कोई मुझसे अगर पूछता है कि डीएम कैसा था, क्या करना चाहिए, क्या कट ऑफ जाएगा, मुझे पता है, मैंने पेपर दिया है. So I have that idea, right? So it's not just about what we are doing in our lives. It's just about whatever we are doing. Is it connected to you people in the terms of Zatel and XLRI, of course, and iQuanta, right? Other things, of course, they're not very, very related to you. But me giving that was, of course, one of my own reasons. And then somehow I understood how you guys were feeling, right? And talking about that, it's not about XLRI, it's not about SIBM, it's about every college that offers a GDPI process to you. That's how we help you, right? Personalized
Yeah.
mentorship, right? Every mentor knows the best about their particular college, right? And of course, we've interviewed for other processes as well. Let's say tomorrow you have your FMS interview. I might be able to tell you pinpoint what you need to focus upon because it's like a 10-minute interview. You don't know how to move forward, and then things go so fast, so you don't understand things somehow as well. But that's how we come into the picture to give you that clarity, right? तो हमारा effort भी समझो, right? That's the effort. And of course we're B school students, so we have a lot of other commitments as well, right? We have our academics, we have our clubs and committees work. We now, of course, our companies have also started contacting us for further things that needs to be done and everything. But still we make sure that we give you all the time that we can, just so that you get the best out of yourself, right? And that's where I mean it's not about iQuanta's program, right? GDPI is an industry where you need professional mentorship, right? CAT में books पढ़ के sum solve करना सीख सकते हो, right? GDPI में you need to understand perspectives, right? Satvik will give you one insight, Akshat will give you one, and I will give you one. That brings you up with three different insights, right? वहां प्रोफेसर्स को यही तो चाहिए कि कितना फ्लेक्सिबल हो आप अपने थॉट्स में. हाउ विल यू बी फ्लेक्सिबल बाय योर ओन सेल्फ? तो अगर अभी तक प्रोक्रास्टिनेट कर रहे हो, राइट, कि फॉर्म्स आएंगे तब ज्वाइन करूंगा, इंटरव्यू के डेट्स आएंगे तब ज्वाइन करूंगा, तब शायद बहुत लेट हो जाएगा, राइट? अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग. द अर्लियर यू स्टार्ट द रेस में जल्दी दौड़ना अच्छा होता है, राइट? ये नहीं सोचते ना कि मतलब ये होगा तो तब दौड़ूंगा, वो होगा तब दौड़ूंगा, right? Start preparing from today itself. If you feel you have the call, if you feel you have cleared the cutoffs and you've still not joined the course, I would highly recommend you to do that, right? Because it's not
Uh,
important for me, Satvik or Akshat, or maybe I Quanta, as much as it is important for you. Your one registration might not change the game for us, but then it will absolutely change the game for you, right?
right. Which,
So, yeah.
yeah, actually, guys, you can keep asking questions. थोड़ा silent हो गए हम ही लोग बात कर रहे हैं तो we'd love to answer. Okay, I'm a fresher. How depth? अरे भाई यार everybody fresher experience. अपने पढ़ाई तो you should know, like very much important to know. See, people with work ex
But
have an
guys, I
advantage in
think
the yeah tell Akshat.
हाँ बस ये है कि अगर आप वर्क एक्स वाले यू माइट गेट अ लेवरेज दैट यू माइट बी एक्सक्यूज्ड इफ यू डू नॉट रिमेम्बर a lot about your academics, but if you're a fresher then not knowing your academics will not be excused. बस यही फर्क है, पर जानना दोनों को चाहिए.
Right, yeah, and this also brings me my HR interview wasn't revolving around academics, I'll be honest. It was revolving more around my personality, my likes and dislikes, okay? But on the other hand, I've asked some people, the BM interviews especially, and some of the HR interviews actually it revolved around the academics and knowledge about the academics. So
तो
yeah,
बीएम इंटरव्यू में तो यार वो पूछते ही हैं. बीएम इंटरव्यू में तो वन ऑफ द
okay,
बीएम फॉर्म में तो वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस इज आल्सो व्हिच इज योर फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट. तो
okay, right,
अंडरस्टैंड कि वो फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट जो मेंशन करोगे ना उसके बारे में अच्छे से पढ़ लेना यार, बिकॉज
right,
आई मेंशनड माय दिस थिंग एज मार्केटिंग, ठीक है? सो दे आस्क्ड मी बीसीजी मैट्रिक्स एंड दे टोल्ड मी कि एग्जांपल दो बीसीजी मैट्रिक्स का. आई गेव द एग्जांपल ऑफ Amazon. देन दे वर लाइक कि इसको थोड़ा अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करो, गो डीप डाउन इनटू द बिजनेस मॉडल ऑफ Amazon एंड एवरीथिंग. तो दैट इज हाउ इट वर्क्स. जो चीजें पहली चीज तो दे कैन आस्क यू द बेसिक्स ऑफ एनी सब्जेक्ट फ्रॉम योर ग्रेजुएशन, वो तो पता होना चाहिए एटलीस्ट द 5-6 इंपॉर्टेंट वंस, राइट? लेट्स से यू आर फ्रॉम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, तो एनालॉग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, पावर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, इलेक्ट्रिकल मशीन्स, ये सारी चीजों के बारे में तो पता होना चाहिए. फिर फ्रॉम कॉमर्स तो अकाउंटेंसी, बिजनेस स्टडीज, इकोनॉमिक्स, राइट? ये सब पता होना चाहिए. सो इम्पोर्टेंट हर फील्ड के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं, और दे डू नॉट एक्सपेक्ट यू टू बी एन एब्सोल्यूट बीस्ट एट इट. इट्स जस्ट दैट यू शुड नो द बेसिक्स ऑफ थिंग्स, है ना? क्योंकि व्हाई डू दे आस्क दिस? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बिकॉज दे नो दैट देयर प्रोफेसर्स, दे गोना बी टीचिंग यू टुमारो, right? And what if you don't remember anything that they taught at the end of the second year? They won't like it, right? Of course. तो they know कि हाँ फिर भी ऐसा होता है कि बहुत लोग नहीं पढ़ते हैं, बट ऐसा फिल्टरिंग क्राइटेरिया तो उन्हें ये चीज लगानी पड़ेगी ना, that people who are serious and people who are not so serious should be segmented. Right? So that is the reason they do it. And also, guys, keep on asking questions. First of all, utilize these things to the best, to the best. कोर्स ज्वाइन करना रेकमेंड हमने कर दिया है, बट ठीक है, नहीं भी ज्वाइन करोगे, डाउट्स कुछ है अगर, तो वो यहाँ पे क्लियर जरूर करवा लो, राइट? बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली आवर ऑब्जेक्टिव, आवर एम इज टू हेल्प यू गाइस, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी आर हियर फॉर. सो एनी डाउट्स अराउंड दैट एक्सेलराई और processes, keep shooting, ask them, and we would love to answer them.
oh, yeah,
यार
and
रचित इज आस्किंग वर्कएक्स का फाइनल कन्वर्ट में. देखो, एक तो ये है, शायद इट माइट बी पॉसिबल दैट इन दैट फाइनल सिलेक्शन क्राइटेरिया दे माइट हैव सम पॉइंट्स फॉर वर्कएक्स. Secondly, workx gives you a lot of talking points in the interview, right? Acads में people are not that comfortable. Workx में because they're paid for that, because their manager holds daily stand up every single day, they're held accountable for things, इसलिए लोगों को चीजें पता होती है, right? So that is the reason workx होना अच्छी चीज इसलिए होती है, because you get a lot of things to talk about, right? I think majority of my interviews revolved 30 to 50% around my workx only, right? तो अंडरस्टैंड कि, बट दैट ऑल्सो ब्रिंग्स इन टू द फैक्ट दैट अगर वर्क एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में भी नहीं पता है, दैट थ्रोज अ वेरी नेगेटिव लाइट ऑन योर पर्सनालिटी एंड योर कैंडिडेचर, ऑफ कोर्स. because they were paying you, they were shadowing you, they were managing you, and still if you don't know anything about your job in the business, that's something that pisses them off, right? So make that very sure, and make sure you know uh, almost everything about your business model of the company, about what your job role was, what your learnings were, etc.
हाय संचित, केस स्टडीज और इंटरव्यूज। ओके, केस स्टडीज तो नहीं पूछते, आज तक मैंने नहीं देखा है। बट सिचुएशन दे कैन एक्चुअली आस्क यू एंड दे आस्क योर ओपिनियन व्हाट हाउ यू सॉल्व इट एक्सेट्रा। गेस्टिमेट्स दे कैन आस्क यू। केस स्टडीज तो भाई हम मेन, भाई केस स्टडीज नहीं आई डोंट थिंक दे विल
Guesstimates,
एक्चुअली
they can
आस्क।
ask you. Guesstimates तो मुझे पूछे भी थे यार। I mean,
या
in my HRM interview, they asked me, डर मत जाना वैसे गाइस, ठीक है, मेरा बैकग्राउंड था कंसल्ट में, तो ऑफ कोर्स मेरा इंटर्न था कंसल्टिंग में, तो आई न्यू हाउ टू सॉल्व गेस्टिमेट्स एंड एवरीथिंग, सो दे आस्क्ड मी टू एस्टिमेट द नंबर ऑफ people in India with the access to clean clothing. Okay. We came up and they're very good. They're very collaborative in that sense. The professors were helping me. They were talking to me. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why did you take this assumption? Why did you take that assumption? Right. And we eventually came up with the number of 25 crores, actual number 20 crore. है, right. And I think majority reason वो इसलिए हम इतना close पहुंच पाए because the professors were helping me and questioning me at each and every point. So it's not like that taking a job interview of yours where, if you're not able to answer, they'll be like, okay, we have the next candidate. If you're working hard, if you're putting your effort in that guesstimate, they will help you for sure in solving that. ठीक है, बट हाँ पता होना चाहिए कि कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं, दैट इज
ओके,
वन ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग.
या
Also, guys,
हर्ष।
in the iQuantas अभी जो GDPI course है, इसमें we are not just the only mentors. We have
हाँ
10 to 12 mentors, and they are from diverse fields. Like Satvik, me, myself, and Aman, we are from different fields, right? Even if Aman is from a different engineering field, I am from a different engineering field. So I have questions, I have those documents which I used to prepare in during my time, and all the mentors we share it on the group that we have. We share it with the students. So you can be from any background, we have the resource for you.
Yeah, okay. I want to answer Harsh ka question. Hi Harsh, again. Let me just say, organizational psychology and industrial psychology makes like 40% of HRM ka course. So you actually have an advantage if you know anything about it. Just be well prepared, okay? And probably then they'll ask you some questions, basic HR, basically OB, what we call as organizational behavior. उससे question आएंगे, तो then be prepared to answer. Yeah, you can actually have an actual shot and pressing your HR panel if you are able to answer it well. And
Guys, we'll wait for a minute more. If there are more questions, let us know.
mm,
Else, we'll call it a day.
yeah. Anyways, it was. I would just say, guys, that I would still want to reiterate. If you have a call, you have a chance. Okay. And end of the day, I know it is a hard crack. Like people, like there's a long journey left. Okay, but I would personally, if I have to remember something, my days as somebody aspiring for XLRI were actually very beautiful. Okay, after that, there was a very much hardworking life that came after when I got selected. वो हार्ड वर्क अलग लेवल का ब्यूटी दिखाई, लेकिन sometimes I really miss the amazing time I was having when I was like an aspirant. Okay, when I was uncertain of what will happen. What subject should I prepare for finance? भाई वही accounts, finance, your वही सब prepare कर लो. ठीक है, अगर तुम्हारा background उसमें है then prepare whatever you learned in UG. If not, then just prepare upper headlines, and then do not please tell them that I want to pursue in finance because you do not have the background and the knowledge. If you do, then well and great. But yeah, this is how you have to prepare. Any other questions, guys?
I mean,
Harsh
everything is
is
done.
asking, sir, Harsh, if you had organizational psychology, or if I can reframe it to organizational behavior, we
Mm.
also have this subject in MBA. And this is not just for the HR folks, this is for every MBA. We have the subject organizational behavior. Right. So you can very well link it up. We will guide you personally. We would like love to guide you personally.
Harshul, actually, I had written an article for iQuanta only in the Facebook group that if you want to pursue HR, then XLRI is the best. So then it becomes top one. It depends on your priorities. Okay, if you want to pursue like see, XLRI is definitely top five. Okay, There's no telling no. But if you want to be get into human resource management only, that's like the only aim you have. Then ABC also become a distraction. XLRI is the
तो उस
gateway.
मैनेजमेंट में तो आई थिंक उसको नंबर वन बोलना भी इट्स लाइक अंडरस्टेटमेंट बिकॉज इट्स एब्सोल्युटली किलिंग इट कोई नंबर टू this को I mean people call this number two and because of its fees people sometimes put it at number one as well but understand yeah through my experience of FMS through my understanding of this I've learned one thing and I'll give you one learning which will always help you guys aspirant market में one word is very famous and that word is return on investment ठीक है पहली चीज तो आप इन्वेस्ट क्या कर रहे हो ठीक है पैसे इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो 30 लाख रुपीज 5 लाख रुपीज 10 लाख रुपीज वट एवर इट इज वॉट इज द रिटर्न इज द रिटर्न जस्ट द प्लेसमेंट्स right or is it actually the alumni network that you get all throughout the life is it the support that you get all throughout the life is it the importance of the tag that you get all throughout the life अंडरस्टैंड दैट्स द रिटर्न क्या एक्सेल टैग का कोई आप मॉनेटरी वैल्यू लगा सकते हो क्या कैन यू इवन फाइंड द रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट कैन यू इवन फाइंड द आरओआई ऑन द एक्सेल माफिया right? This season was very bad in terms of internships across colleges. We understood the importance of Excel Mafia now. अब समझ आता है कि हाँ यार what Excel Mafia actually is. We closed our placements super soon, summer placements, right? Finals भी हो ही जाएंगे. Right? चल रहा है process, whatever you will be conveyed through official social media posts. But understand कि there are a lot of colleges in aspirant market. When I say aspirant market, it's you people on that side of the story, जहाँ पे you know you're not in the B school and you're influenced by the factors that are there in the market. वहाँ पे बहुत easy होता है बोलना कि इस कॉलेज का ROI अच्छा है, इस कॉलेज का पैकेज अच्छा है. At the end of the day, ये समझना है 2 साल काम नहीं करना है. You have to work for 15, 20, 25 years. And वहाँ पे networks बहुत काम आते हैं, वहाँ पे tag बहुत काम आता है. Right? So make sure you understand all of these things. We are at the oldest B school of India, right? And that 75 years of legacy is unmatched, honestly unmatched. And HR के लिए तो best है ही, there's no doubt about it. And it's not just normal HR, it's strategic HR, right? They're all linked to the CHRO track eventually. But understand कि उसके अलावा भी marketing में all the FMCG giants come here, right? Product management में I am into HR, but I'm placed into one of the best broadband firms in India. Right? So फर्क नहीं पड़ता है यार टॉप फोर टॉप फाइव रैंकिंग में मत पढ़ो अंडरस्टैंड द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ अ कॉलेज एंड देन डिसाइड अकॉर्डिंगली that will be something that I have and I would wish all of you all the very best you know
Yeah.
वो कट ऑफ्स क्लियर हो गए कॉल आ जाएंगे all the very best
Yeah,
prepare
Joyce.
your
Also,
best
one last thing I want to say, join us, right? We are like working day and night. So we would want you also be our tutelage and it'll be our pleasure to work with you guys as well. Okay, so join us. Okay. We would try our level best to give you the best direction possible for your interviews.
Right, so guys, addressing the final two questions, XLRI might have a GD this time. You will get a notification soon through the emails.
Mhm.
And definitely having social work helps a lot. And if you want to know how to create a story, how to actually tell it in the interview, join us. Okay, guys, all the best. See you on the other side in Excel. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
thank you
Have
guys
a
all the
good
very best thank you so much for your time